Yo, what's up everyone, and welcome back to another Inazuma 11 unpopular opinions video. I love doing these, they make for great discussion points, and it means that you guys can get involved down in the comments by letting me know your unpopular opinions. And so we have another Reddit thread we're going to read through, we're going to take a look at, and we're going to discuss, debate, all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's dive straight in with unpopular opinions. We've got a ton here, just immediately. Okay, right, let's go. Edgar Paladin, England, should be a defender. So England's captain, the big Excalibur forward, should be a defender. I don't get what the reasoning is here. I disagree that Partner should be a defender. He feels like this big arrogant forward. I feel like the whole point of him is the dynamic with Mark, the kind of immediate rivalry that forms there. So no, I completely disagree with this point. Completely. Dave should have joined Inazuma Japan over someone like Todd. Sure, but then you lose the cool energy he brings to Neo Japan. You could argue he should have come back on the replacement, but no, I think you lose that. I think people, okay, we've immediately got here Todd, worst player in Inazuma Japan. No. Well, yes, but I also think that Todd being there, it's just fun. I don't know how to describe it other than it's just fun. What, you know, if Dave was there, yeah. To be fair, you could argue Dave being there means more storylines would have to be, because, you know what I mean, if Dave was there, but the rest of it was kept the same, then there wouldn't be a whole lot of time to be given to Dave's character. And you don't want that. I think he works better being Neo Japan and being this leader of the other team. I think, you know, Todd being in Inazuma Japan kind of means the other players can get a bit more of the spotlight, because who's ever going to give the spotlight to Todd? You know what I mean? I felt you got to try and keep it balanced. I don't think you want too many, you know, the entire team to want to have all of them have different character arcs and matches and all of their own match dedicated to them, because it just gets too much, and I think it wouldn't be able to handle it all. And Video is better and a better captain than Nakata. I think Nakata's done really dirty in the anime, honestly. Really dirty. Because they only show his, like, the only move they give him is Brave Shot, and that move is so boring looking and so kind of generic looking. They do him so bloody dirty. I feel so bad for him. But is he a better captain? Yeah, I think so. I think Video, obviously, he knows the team better. I don't remember how the Italy match ends. Does it end with? I don't remember what it ends with, but it should end with Nakata giving Video, like, absolute captaincy. I don't know whether or not that is how it ends, but it should be. The most enjoyable match of all time is the off-pitch match between Endu, Teres, Dylan, Mark, Video. See, this is the kind of thing that someone who hates Inazuma 11 would say, I feel like. I don't get this point. I mean, yeah, but that's the ultimate hyperbole. I think that it's a fun little practice match, but to say it's the most enjoyable, best match of all time, that might be over exaggeration slightly. It's just a little kick about it. I swear it's like 2 seconds long. Is it the best match of all time? Does it beat Fire Dragon, you know what I mean? Ray Dark is the best story arc prior in every season ever combined. Sure, I think that's a fair point. To make Ray Dark's story arc is really cool. Matagi, best story arc, Go Galaxy. Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Go Galaxy cast all have not that interesting full character arcs. I think Matagi, yeah, I can see you absolutely saying it's the best. I might agree. OG Season 1 is the worst season of all the seasons created. See, this is a point I can completely understand. OG Season 1 is super, super simple. I can fully understand this point. You know, OG Season 1, it's just a football anime. It's about as simple as Inazuma 11 can get. There's no aliens, and I can see the charm in that. I can see the enjoyment in that. I really like Season 1. It's one of my favorites, actually. But I think saying it's the worst, I can get that. I can get behind that. But I think that it benefits from being a bit shorter, I think. The Go seasons are way too long for my liking. Bellatrix's wife, okay. These are kids. I shouldn't have to explain that you shouldn't say they're waifus. Axel Blaze is overhyped. IMO, one of the most disliked characters in the entire series by the fact he is one of my favorite moments. The return. Yeah. I kind of disagree with this. I don't think he's one of my most disliked. I think he's slightly overhyped by certain crowds. I made a whole video about it at the very beginning of the year, but I do love the moment of him coming back. I think that's really, really, really cool. Alien looks cooler than Hirutoji. I've talked about this a lot in Inazuma 11 2 Crossfire Let's Play. lots how, not necessarily Zine, but the alien, like, when he's still, like, meant to be an alien, but he's in his, like, human attire, I think that Xavier looks better than the Xavier we get in Season 3. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Oh, they explained a bit why they think Edgar should be a defender. Interesting, I'm curious. His most powerful shot grows stronger over the distance explained. Making him a defender means most shots, if not all shots, come from his own line. But then, I don't think he... Yeah, he should be a libero. He should be a wing back, maybe. I don't think he should be a defender. You know, defender to me screams centre back. Where is his defensive moves? Where's the wall? You know what I mean? I could see him as a wing back. That would be quite fun. I wish you could do that in the game, to be honest, make him a wing back, but Excalibur wouldn't have the same impact at all. This is a spicy one. Nathan in Season 2 sucks. The point I feel most strongly on it, because I explain it a lot, I think Nathan's sudden jarring mood swing to annoyed, childish, and jealous wasn't a good change. I was happy when he left. See, I kind of disagree with this, because I think Nathan shows these traits the entire time. In Season 1, in the Shuriken match, I think Nathan shows a very competitive side to him. And so I think it makes sense that after being declared the best, and then immediately going on to be destroyed, it would activate that competitive edge in him, and he would desperately want to be better, and really, really push himself to be better. I think all these traits, they check out to me. I think they genuinely check out to me. He comes childish and annoying, a lot of stakes, everyone's being upclassed, but everyone on the team is going through that. True, but not everyone's going to react the same, absolutely. I think Nathan's complete. I think it completely makes sense with how he acts and compared to what we've seen of him so far. Obviously, he's a nice guy, but he's a nice guy with a competitive edge to him. And so I think, and every character, they can't just all react to it the same. They can't all, be the same level of maturity. You need characters with differing levels of maturity, differing levels of childishness. And so I think it makes sense for Nathan to be a bit more hyper-reactive to it, and then it goes on to obviously create Dark Emperors, which is absolutely worth it. You don't hate Sue. The thing about her constantly harassing Eric is outdated comedy, uncomfortable and weird, but her English version sounds like girls I know from her area in England, so maybe I'm used to how she talks and I find it entertaining. Sure. I definitely have warmed up to Sue. I still don't think she's particularly funny, but I can see why people like her a lot. It's just not for me. So I get this. Wintersea is a villain. He's supposed to be a sniveling henchman for Ray Dark. You might want to see someone do a breakthrough to him. Decent enough side villain. Is this an unpopular opinion? People dislike Wintersea? I quite like Wintersea. Again, I think, absolutely sniveling henchman for Ray Dark. And I like just watching him show up in kind of these sniveling villain roles throughout the series. I think it's quite fun. Scotty's funny, but not nearly as funny as the show thinks he is. I think the show thinks it's funnier than it is overall in Inazuma 11. Scotty's cool. I think Scotty's best trait is his backstory with his mum. I love that. I think that's really, really sad and really, really interesting. But I kind of agree that the humor with Scotty doesn't always work. Doesn't work at all. Nelly was the most complete character of all the OG managers. Don't at me. Applause for Nelly. Love. Look, Nelly is the best character in Inazuma 11. We all know this. We all absolutely know this. Axel should have got more characteristics. Agree. See, lots of people I feel like are starting to have this opinion of Axel maybe being a bit mid. I think it's weird. I think there are two crowds. There's the kind of normie crowd who adore Axel, think he's the greatest thing ever. And then there's the crowd of people who maybe, the bit of more hipster Inazuma 11 fans. Not saying they're the better fans, not saying they're the worst fans, just the hipster fans who are more, less into Axel, more into the other characters. They're the kind of who would use Xavier in their playthroughs, you know what I mean? I say that, Xavier is like the most popular Inazuma character after Sean, but you know what I mean. I enjoyed Go On's story, but outside of Ari and Ricardo, Sam, and Victor and his brother, I kept none of the new cast. It's weird listing a bunch of characters you cared about. Yeah, I think the Go On cast is not as good as the OG cast, and the OG cast just has better designs, and I think that endears you to them more. Go On's cast, there are some characters with way too interesting, and out there designs. I think the OG's cast is really cool because it's so simple. It's so simple and easily memorable. Get a kid to draw Timmy, get a kid to draw Jim, now try and get a kid to draw Ade or Eugene Peabody. It's a bit more difficult, I feel like. Lars and Sven, who? You know, I think the OG cast, I think, really benefits just from how simple they are, how basic they are, how underdoggy they are. Go 1 never feels like underdogs. OG really feels like underdogs. I think because Go 1's constantly getting bullied, like they're getting like just beat up, and so they feel a lot more like the heroes, like against this massive villain. OG just feels like some kids playing football, and that's a lot more endearing, I think. The game's detection when you're offside is bull. The amount of times I've been called offside when that could be more wrong is painful. I don't agree with this. I don't think I've ever noticed that. Like, obviously I scream about it in videos, but I don't think I've ever actually felt like I got screwed over by Inazuma Eleven's VAR system. But I'm curious, have you guys ever experienced this where you think you're not offside, you really think you're not offside, you feel like you can prove you're not offside, but the game says you're not? I'm curious. Arian is a fine protagonist, but constructs is how he's basically a mini-mark get grading after this. Do you mean in the show or as people? I'm assuming you mean in the show. Do they refer to him as a mini-mark? I don't remember. But no, I think the fact he is just Mark again, but as a midfielder, and arguably more annoying. I don't like Arian. I really don't like Arian. I think he's just... People come at me for this. People really come at me for this. But I'm not a big fan of Arian. I just think he's Mark, but a bit more grating. I can see the cute element of him. I can see the endearing elements of him, but it doesn't work for me at all. But I get so much hate for that opinion. So much hate for that opinion. Alright, we have 2 more opinions left to talk about today. Byron shouldn't have been the Kirkwood trainer. Like, there was literally a team called Mount Olympus. They could have given Kirkwood to any other character as a trainer. Kind of disagree with this point because I think that, one, Byron showing up as Kirkwood's trainer is just kind of cool and unexpected. But also, Mount Olympus is obviously meant to be the team that is basically, like, you know, the main villains team. I don't think it quite works Byron working for Axel. I think it makes more sense Byron kind of doing his own thing. You know what I mean? I don't think it would have worked seeing Byron work for Axel as Mount Olympus's coach. I don't like that idea. Even though it's a pretty hated character, Michael Balzac is underrated. Bro, his name is literally Michael Balzac. Come on, lad. Giving him some type of new technique that he learns while the match versus Luna at Sea to let Doug know he's learned something, but no, just the guy with the cool technique that can't score a goal because he's just there to make the goalkeeper. Yeah, look powerful. I agree with that. I wish Michael Balzac got more to do. His name is Michael Balzac. It's brilliant. I mean, come on. I do wish he had more to do. I mean, what would his new move for Michael Balzac look like? Double sidewinder. Vertical winder. I don't know. Maybe some kind of... I always thought you should have more of a lion theme for some reason. Go from snake to maybe now pulling out a lion. You know what I mean? Maybe like goats. I don't know. Maybe he rides a goat and then somersaults off the goat to like kick the ball. Something like that, who knows? But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Please let me know your Inazuma 11 unpopular opinions down below. If we get like 50 comments of Inazuma 11 unpopular opinions, I'll do a video reacting to them. But for now, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.